Nick Cage, you wonderful, wonderful man. He's done it again, guys. Everybody, my name is Zack, and I love discussing cinema and all things entertainment. And as always, I really do appreciate you guys stopping by, and I really hope you enjoy your stay, because today's topic is a brand new film called Pig. This is a movie I was really looking forward to checking out. I was hearing a lot of really positive buzz surrounding this film. It's written and directed by the debuting Michael Sarnoski, and it stars the one and only Nicolas Cage, otherwise known as a god amongst men. Living alone in the Oregon wilderness, a truffle hunter played by Cage returns to Portland to find the person who kidnapped his beloved truffle pig. Just for the record, guys, I did take to Twitter after this film was over because I was honestly super floored by it. I'm dead serious. This movie was phenomenal. Yeah, Pig is one of the best films of the year, and that's a sentence I never could have imagined myself saying this past January. Now, I should warn you, the trailers do kind of make this seem like a John Wick clone. Almost like Nicolas Cage is gonna go mow some people down in hot pursuit of his beloved pet, and it's gonna be massively brutal and gory Tarantino style, like, oh, the humanity. I'm just saying, if you go into Pig expecting a brutal action film, that's not what this film is at all. And if you go in expecting that, I feel like you're gonna be massively disappointed. I'm just bringing this up right now just as a fair warning, because I do feel like people will look at these trailers and then watch the film and then feel kind of cheated, like the trailers misled them in some way. But I, for one, was not disappointed in the slightest, because, my god, I loved this film. Nicolas Cage in this film, I honestly don't think he's ever been better. This man, I mean, I meant what I said. He is an absolute deity. And he's going through a career resurgence in some forms, with some really fun movies like Mandy and Willy's Wonderland. That one I did review a few months ago, and it's kind of a guilty pleasure now. Nick Cage doesn't say one word of dialogue throughout it, and it's super unique. But this performance in Pig is on a whole nother level. I would honestly, if I were any award circuit out there, I would nominate this man right now, because you never really feel like he's an actor in this film. He is so subdued and so raw. And the connection that this script establishes between this character and this pig is honestly so endearing. This first act was super fascinating to watch, super well made, as is the rest of the film, which I'll get to. And I felt the eventual kidnapping itself was scarring. And I'm not gonna spoil the final result, which I will admit, I have heard some people found this final result a bit iffy, but with the themes this movie establishes, and I'll get to that in just a second, but I honestly felt like this was a super effective finale, and there's no other way that this film could have ended. Nicolas Cage, absolutely fantastic. This is the best acting performance I've seen all year so far. Not to be overlooked, though, is Alex Wolff. Give the kid credit where it's due. This performance was really good. He kind of plays your business liaison, bridging Nick Cage's character to the city, selling some of the stuff Cage is foraging. And Wolff does a very good job. I really have enjoyed him in most of his recent films like Hereditary and Old. I bought the chemistry he shares with Cage himself, and he's got a pretty sad backstory in his own right. Honestly made me feel sorry for the guy once that was revealed. And I gotta talk about Michael Sarnoski. This is a very confident debut for a director. He proves himself to be a more than capable hand sitting there in the director's chair. And you know what's amazing is nothing about this filmmaking came off pretentious to me. This just felt like an immaculately put together film. The cinematography is out of this world. It is so wonderful. The editing is something you don't even necessarily notice because it's so seamless. And this script, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, for a movie called Pig, it has something really important to say, and I was really floored by it. This might be the best original screenplay of 2021 up to this point. Not only is this a fascinating character study for Nick Cage's character, which naturally peels back so many layers the deeper you go into the film, but it's also very methodical. Now, some may feel a little bit detracted by this film for its slower pace. That just shows you how careful Michael Sarnoski is as a screenwriter. And I really gotta respect that. I loved this movie, because this brings me to perhaps my biggest praise for this movie, aside from Nick Cage's career best performance. It's the themes of this movie. This movie's message really affected me deeply. I don't want to get too deep into spoilers with this, because I want you all to experience this movie the way I did. But this movie is actually all about finding meaning in in things that some might consider meaningless. Now look at this wall behind me. Look at this background. This is about 5-6 years worth perhaps of collecting these. Now some people might look at this wall behind me and they might think, why on earth would I collect physical media in this day and age with streaming and things like that? But every single one of these movies behind me in some way holds some sort of significant meaning to me. And obviously if my house were to burn down, God forbid, and all this was lost in the fire, I could obviously rebuild, but I would feel gutted if all these were lost. And that's kind of what Pig is all about. There's one monologue that Nick Cage has delivered to a chef. Oh my god, it was one of the best monologues I think I've seen all year, for sure up to this point. In case you couldn't tell, Pig is without a doubt, in my opinion, one of the strongest films of the year so far. It's so well put together. Cage turns in one of the best performances of his entire career, if not the best. And this is all with what I think may be the most fascinating character study since Nightcrawler, which is saying a ton. But I do have one issue with this film, and it really is a nitpick at this point. I really wasn't the biggest fan of this movie's antagonist. Don't get me wrong, this is a great performance, but the way this antagonist is written comes off very plain and basic to me. Like, there's not really a whole lot of depth to his character once he's introduced, and the movie tries to establish depth to this character, but I feel like this is where the 91-minute runtime could be working against it. And I think if this movie were just a shade bit longer and we could learn a little bit more about this antagonist, man, it would have made the movie all the better. Because as it is, I'm gonna give Pig an A. I definitely would recommend seeking this one out, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a movie that's gonna be for everybody. Again, like The Green Knight last weekend, this is certainly gonna be for an acquired taste. And with all these big theatrical releases hitting theaters this month, I'm very scared that this movie could get overlooked down the line, but please, I urge you guys, you're not gonna regret this. Do not miss out on Pig. I cannot recommend this movie enough. But let me know what you guys thought of Pig down in the comments section below. Did you love it as much as I did? Did you not like it as much? And I'm also curious, what is your guys' favorite character study for a film? As you guys know, I love discussing all of these topics in cinema and all things entertainment, so go ahead and make some noise down in the comments section below, and let's have some fun with this. Because I honestly do have a blast making these videos for you guys and starting the discussion with you guys. If you guys want to keep up with the discussion, do consider hitting the subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. It really helps me get the content out there. It's completely free. You know what else will help me out tremendously is if you hit that thumbs up on your way out. That would be tremendous. And as always, guys, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very soon. Big weekend lined up with Vivo on Netflix, as well as the big one, Suicide Squad, coming out in theaters, the James Gunn masterpiece. I can't wait to talk about those films with you guys and much more. You guys are the best. And with all that being said, back talk, commence!